Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for a special edition of my Week 3 Best Bets in the NFL. Today, we're talking about my favorite parlays, a MoneyLine, touchdown, same-game parlay, and of course, got two more player props that I really like in the NFL this weekend. If you want to see my favorite spreads, over-unders, a teaser, and three more player props, go check out my full Week 3 Best Bets video posted on Thursday. It'll be linked in the description down below, and it'll be linked I'll pin it in the comments as well. But first, like the video and smash that subscribe button. We are so close to 9,000 subscribers, and maybe we've already hit it by the time you're watching this video, which if we have, I appreciate all you guys for subscribing to the channel, trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. It's a stretch, but I know you guys can do it. Now you see the results on the screen. We've had a pretty good start to the NFL season so far, up 11.24 units. You love to see that. Hope we're helping you make some money today, but let's get into it. Today, like I said, we got a money line parlay, my touchdown parlay, a same game parlay, which if you see the results on the screen, we are undefeated so far, 2-0 on the season, and we got two more player props that I really like in addition to the other three in my normal Week 3 Best Bets video. Let's start with the MoneyLine parlay, which we did cash last week. We're starting with it, plus 162 value, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, and Cardinals. We'll start with the Ravens. They're playing the Lions, and maybe I could end my analysis there, but the Lions have looked pretty decent. I mean, decent in relative terms. They've looked all right. They've kept their first two games close, at least by halftime, but then they let the game slip away. I do think Lamar Jackson and company should be able to handle this. They're coming off a big Week 2 win over the Chiefs, and I hope this isn't a letdown spot for them, and I don't necessarily know if they'll cover the 7.5 to 8 points that they're getting, but I still think they will win this game outright. As for the Bills, the second leg of the MoneyLine parlay, they bounced back last week and looked exactly like the Bills team that a lot of us have been expecting them this year. Now, I did have them lose in Week 1 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I called that out in our weekly podcast posted Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but they won 35-0 last week. This week, they get Taylor Heineke and Washington football team, whose defense has been underperforming so far. Well, I don't necessarily know if they're going to cover that 7.5, 8 points that they're getting right now, which that line has gone down as the week has kind of progressed, but I do think they get the win. They're at home, and I think they can do it. Josh Allen's going to have a big game this week. That's just I'm calling my shot. Now, moving on, third leg of the parlay, the Chiefs. Now, if you watched our weekly podcast, like I talked about, I considered picking this every week on Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. We give our upset picks, and last week, I had nailed mine. I picked the Cowboys over the Chargers Week 1. I nailed it, picked the Steelers over the Bills. This week, you'll have to go check the podcast to see who I picked, but the Chiefs, I would consider picking them to lose this game against the Chargers had they have won against the Ravens. But I don't think they'll lose back-to-back games, especially not at Arrowhead at home. I think the Chiefs can get the win, and I don't expect them to lose back-to-back games. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chargers cover the 6.5 points that they're getting. I do expect them to win the game outright. And lastly, the Arizona Cardinals. They're playing the Jaguars, and they have looked great. Great in relative terms. The offense has looked great through 2 weeks. Last week, they got a miracle win against the Vikings on that missed field goal. Rest in peace to the Vikings fans out there. But either way, Urban Meyer, he's still adjusting to the NFL. He's had some weird quotes this week saying that it's like playing Alabama every week. I guess he expected to play a couple Purdue's in there. Sorry, no shots at Purdue Boilermaker fans, but I expect Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt make Trevor Lawrence's day a very long one, make it a brutal one. And I also have another bet on the Cardinals in my Week 3 Best Bets video. Go check out that. And I have a player prop for them in this video. We'll roll right into it. Kyler Murray, over 279.5 passing yards, minus 114 on Barstool Sportsbook. Now for starters, Kyler, 2 for 2 on this line this year. He had 289 yards in Week 1 against Tennessee, and then 400 passing yards in Week 2 against Minnesota. He's on a mission this year, and he's going for that MVP trophy. And truthfully, I think he's got a decent shot, because Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes haven't necessarily lit the league on fire this season so far. I mean, Tom Brady's been on a mission, but I still think Kyler Murray has a chance, and he was in the MVP conversation last year. I mean, prior to his shoulder injury, he was up there. He was in the top 3-4 guys, and that's where he finds himself right now. Now, if you look at it, the Jaguars, they don't have a great pass rush. They don't have great cornerbacks and secondary, although they do have Shaquille Griffin, ex-UCF alum. Shout out to him. But I still do think Kyler Murray can use and abuse this defense. Now, it'd be lovely, and I think they will go bombs away in this game, and it would be lovely if DeAndre Hopkins is out there, who's currently a game-time decision. But either way, I think Kyler gets there. You look at it, Rondale Moore having a really good start to his rookie campaign. He's looking really good. And you look at it, the Jags, in Week 1, they gave up 291 passing yards in a blowout loss to Tyrod Taylor and the Houston Texans. Week 2, they gave up another 328 passing yards to Teddy Bridgewater in a 10-point loss to the Broncos. And now neither of those guys are as good as Kyler Murray. No disrespect to him. And the best part about the Cardinals, they really don't like to run the ball all too much. It's a lot of dump-offs to Chase Edmonds. That's their glorified run plays. And maybe some Rondale Moore getting the ball into his hands. James Conner, Chase Edmonds, they aren't going to see a ton of touches this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cardinals going bombs away, just trying to light up the scoreboard against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. The weather should be beautiful, probably pretty hot. Maybe they'll have some cramping issues, but I'm all in on Kyler Murray this weekend. Locking it in. My last player prop of the week before I get into my touchdown and same game parlay. Austin Eckler. I'm taking his over 4.5 receptions, minus 145 on Caesars. In week 1, Eckler, 0 reception, has as many receptions as you and I. Now, they took what the Washington defense gave them, and that was unfortunately no Austin Eckler, a lot of Keenan Allen, and of course, Mike Williams, who I've called to have a really good breakout season in the preseason, and he's really looking up to it. Now, week 2, he bounced back, 9 receptions, 9 targets, 61 yards. Now, game script should be in his favor this week against the Chiefs, who are one of the fastest playing teams. We obviously know Patrick Mahomes likes to light up the scoreboard. They don't run the ball all too much, although the Chargers defense has been giving up a lot of rushing yards, so wouldn't be surprised to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire bounce back and have a really good week this weekend. But if you think about Steve Spagnuolo defense, which Steve Spagnuolo is the defensive coordinator to the Kansas City Chiefs, they try to take away the outside and they try to make you beat them over the middle. So Jared Cook, Austin Eckler should have pretty good games. Eckler comes in there and he's done this time and time again against this Chiefs team. Since 2018, Eckler has played against the Chiefs 5 times. He's hit the over in 4 of them. Now, let's talk about the one miss, which was last year, and I believe it was Justin Herbert's first start. The Chiefs won in overtime 23-20, and the Chargers, they ran the ball 39 times. Just 39. 23 carries to Josh Kelly, 16 to Eckler. Now, I don't know what to tell you. Chargers are not running the ball 39 times this game. I can guarantee you that. And you look at Eckler, he still managed 4 receptions, just missing it on the hook. I guarantee you the Chargers, they're not running the ball that much. They're one of the more pass-happy offenses in the NFL. Eckler should be leaking out of the backfield and plenty of mismatches against those linebackers. And hopefully Sorensen decides to guard him because Sorensen, not that good. Sorry, didn't mean it. Don't take any offense to it, but you're not that good. Sorry, man. Now, moving on to the touchdown parlay. Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams plus 250. Now, last week, we were so close, so close to cashing the touchdown parlay, which we're 0-2 on the season so far. We had Chris Godwin. I forget the other guy that we had. Allen Robinson, who cashed his within the first 10 seconds of the game, and then CeeDee Lamb, the one leg that came up short, plus 1,000 touchdown parlay. So I'm limited to 2 legs this week because I want to get in the winning column, and I'm going with Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams. Now, obviously, you could add in more players, but then you're just taking more and more risks. Derrick Henry, you could add him in, but he's minus 215, so no thank you. He's like CMC, rest in peace to CMC owners. But Cooper Kupp, I think he has a big game this week, and if you were not looking at and you haven't watched my Week 3 Best Bets video, spoiler alert, I'm on another Cooper Kupp prop in that one, but linked in the description and pinned in the comments. But as for Devontae Adams, I think he scored a touchdown in he hasn't scored a touchdown. Let's take a step back. He hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 straight weeks. I don't know the last time he went 3 weeks without a touchdown, but I don't think it's going to happen this week. You look at the Packers, I think they will struggle to run the ball against the 49ers defensive front. And if you look at it, Devontae Adams has played against San Francisco 3 times in his career, and he has a touchdown in every single one of them, 100% success rate. And also, I'm playing against Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp in my fantasy leagues, and I think Devontae Adams always goes off against me when I'm playing against him, so I'm locking it in. Moving on to my final same-game parlay, in which we are undefeated 2-0 on the year. Here we're going to the Bucs-Rams game, and you can see it on the screen. I just want to have some more skin in this. This is a game I think everyone should watch, one of the best and most intriguing games on the slate. Brady, 250-plus passing yards. Stafford, 250-plus passing yards. Kupp, 50-plus receiving yards. Robert Woods, 40-plus receiving yards. And Chris Godwin, 50-plus receiving yards, plus 165. Now, last year when these two teams played, all of these legs hit, except for Brady. He did not get 250 passing yards. I think he had 216 or 28 for 48. Did not have a good game, and the Bucs lost that game. Now, obviously, Stafford didn't hit his leg, but Goff had over 370 passing yards, so not worried about that one. Now, I expect Brady to bounce back. If you look at it, the Bucs, they don't run the ball a whole lot, and Brady has been killing it, throwing the ball a ton this season. Now, while I would love Antonio Brown to be out there, I do expect him to miss this game, and I'm sure that will be announced later on that he's officially out. Maybe by the time you're watching this, he's officially out. But Bucs have talented enough pass catchers. Now, as for the rest of the legs, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, I think you beat the Bucs through the air. Darrell Henderson's obviously injured. Maybe he won't play. Sony Michel, just don't expect them to run the ball all too much against that Tampa Bay defensive front. I think you're going to beat them through the air, and that's why I'm all in on Cooper Kupp this week. And I think Robert Woods is a decent game. 40-plus passing. Receiving yards is not asking for a lot. Now, I'm taking Godwin in this and not Mike Evans because I do think Jalen Ramsey will be shadowing Mike Evans this week. And I think that Chris Godwin should be the #1 target. He hit this last year against the Rams. I think he'll hit it again. You think about this defense of the Rams. They always play back, and they'll probably just have Jalen Ramsey shadow a guy. I think that guy's Mike Evans. They're going to play back. Chris Godwin should be open over the middle a ton. Maybe Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson should have decent games. Even like a Leonard Fournette or Giovanni Bernard out of the backfield should do pretty well. Now, that is all I got for that game. I'm not going to necessarily pick a spread in that Bucs-Rams game. Now, if you want to know my spread, probably lean towards the Rams. I do think they're trying to trap people to pick the Bucs, the reigning Super Bowl champs. I think the Rams got a decent shot in winning this game. Obviously, they're at home, but I'm not going to make that an official play. I don't really want to touch that game, at least spread or over-under-wise. That over-under is like 55 points. No, thank you. You got the wrong guy. Now, let's cash these parlays. Let's keep having a great NFL season. Week 3 is going to be a good one. I promise you that. As promised, my Week 3 Best Bets video is on the screen. Go check it out. We have a lot of good content in that one. Go check out Logan's videos. Go check out all the videos on the channel. And make sure you're watching that weekly podcast posted Wednesday every Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. We're going to have our 7 o'clock window right as the 4 o'clock games are ended. My Monday Night Football Best Bets video will go live. Let's get after it. Let's make some money this weekend. Peace out.